Lads, it's time to celebrate. It's time to pump out the champagne because Xenoblade 3 got nominated for Game of the Year. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Oh, fuck yeah. Alright, alongside Elden Ring and God of War, which means it's guaranteed not to win. But, like, you know what? We take our wins. We take our wins where we take. Also, fair play to God of War. Fair play to God of War. It's only been out a week, and it's like, yeah, let's get Game of the Year. Fair play to it. It definitely deserves it. I've only played 12 hours, but it's a great game. Xenoblade 3 is definitely my favorite game of all time. I talked about it briefly in the stream the other day. Well, briefly, I think I took like 15 minutes. But yeah, it's my favorite game of all time. I still stand by that. I have to replay it to 100% say it because Stardew Valley was up there beforehand, so I have to really decide in my head if it's definitely number one after my replay. But for now, when I first experienced it, that was my raw reaction, and to see it get nominated for Game of the Year is fantastic, and I am so happy to see finally a Xenoblade game get the respect it deserves. And you know what? I'm going to be the first to say Xenoblade 1, no matter how good the story is, probably didn't deserve Game of the Year qualifications because the gameplay is just so grindy and it's not great. And Xenoblade 2 had a few problems that I feel like could have been looked past, and as I've gotten older and less into that whole idea of, it needs to be able to be liked by everyone, you know what I mean? Now that I've gotten past that need for things to be liked by everyone, like, if I like this, it has to be liked, you know, because I'm like, I want it to be liked, so you're like, why did they put this in? That kind of makes it less likable, you know what I mean? I'm like, But no, as I've gotten older, I've realized who gives a shit, right? I enjoy it, who gives a shit? But it's definitely a game I think could have been nominated for Game of the Year. It's a great game. I feel like one of the biggest problems with Xenoblade 2 was it came out after the Game Awards, or at least after the qualifications came out, so by the time it got a chance to fight up against Game of the Year, it was so far out of people's memories they weren't going to get nominated. So Xenoblade 3 hit every single thing it deserved, every single check mark it needed to hit, you know what I mean, if that's the right way to say it, where it got the time frame. It was released halfway through the year, or just over halfway through the year, so it was still in people's minds for Game of the Year. The story was impeccable. Absolutely brilliant. One of the best stories ever told. And on top of that, it had fantastic gameplay with amazing systems that everyone could get behind. So it hit every single box. And I am so excited to see this Game of the Year, because I am telling you right now, I know it's losing to Elden Ring, but we take our nominations and we take them well. I mean, the competition is fierce, I will admit. I haven't played Forbidden West. I don't know if Forbidden West is any good. I just kind of heard people clowning on it because it came out around the same time as Elden Ring, and I think that the developers were like slagging off Elden Ring, and then people started clowning on Forbidden West. So I don't know if it's any good or not. It has a ginger protagonist, so it's probably goated. You know, it's probably the best thing ever made. But you know what? I haven't played it yet, and I want to play the original, but it didn't come with like PSN. I wasn't willing to pay the €20 for it because I wanted to play other games, and I was like, well, if it's not with the collection, I'm not going to pay €20 for it, man. I just don't. I have other games I want to play, and if it's not with the PS5 Essentials collection that you get, why would I pay for it? Like, if The Last of Us 1 is there and that's not there, and God of War is there, why is Horizon not there? Like, I don't really want to. And then that kind of lost interest in it, so I probably won't play it for a while until it's like €10. If I'm going to be honest, because I'm just not bothered. Like, there's so many. I don't have a lot to spend on video games. I wasn't even able to buy Splatoon 3 this year because I was like, nah, €70 is a bit steep, and God of War was coming out, and I forgot about Pokemon. I'm gonna have to buy Pokemon because I do it every year. I love Pokemon, but I know I said I wasn't gonna buy it this year, but I will in the end, and I don't know. It's something I always do. I am excited actually. It's a week away now, just less 3 days actually. And we'll see how that goes. That's definitely not getting nominated. I heard people go, Legends Arceus getting nominated. No. But we're just happy for Xenoblade, lads. That's what we're happy about these days. Xenoblade deserved it, and I think it's going to give an extra bit of boost to the franchise to hit that 5 million. I want that game to hit 5 million sales in its lifetime. That's what I've been trying to push for, bro. I want that 5 million sales mark. and I hope it works at some point. I hope it gets in at some point. That's what I'm pushing for. You know, if I ever get if I ever get a million subscribers, I'll just give a million people Xenoblade 3, and then we'll be if we get a million people to play Xenoblade 3, we'll be alright. You know what I'm saying? That's the true goal of all this YouTube stuff. Get a million people to buy Xenoblade 3. There we go. I don't know, man. And then I thought by that point it'd be at the 3 million, we get it to 4 million. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. Xenoblade 3 is fantastic. And I want more people to play it. Again, I love this game. I think it's fantastic. I think, yeah, okay, the last last chunk of the game before the actual ending itself, like was a bit like, it felt like it was like a bit of padding before they got to the final end of the game. They wanted to hit that 40-hour mark when it could have probably ended at 30, but it was still the first 35 hours, in my opinion. The first 32 hours of this game, in my opinion, are absolutely flawless, right? Then you've got about 5 hours of like, I don't know. It feels like a little bit of padding with some absolutely amazing things in between, like some amazing hero quests like Monica's and Noah's. And I hear Senna's is really good. I haven't actually got around to playing that one yet. And things like that. And Tyon's hero quest, stuff like that you have to play, which is great. But then you've got all the stuff with Origin, you know, the Origin dungeon, the end still finishing off. Like, it's really just, in my opinion, Xenoblade 3 is a fantastic game. There's only, like, I'd say a chunk of 3 hours where you're like, oh, I don't know, you know, and that's kind of building up to all the Origin stuff. So if out of a 40 to 45 hour game, if you're talking 3 hours weren't the greatest, like, that's not that much at all, right? Every other part of this game is so good, and the ending is so divisive, and I love that about it because there's so much to discuss about it. You know what I mean? It left some vagaries where you're like, there's much to discuss, there's much to talk about, and there was a lot in it, which I know I didn't cover in the end because I kind of just wanted to sit with it. If I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't think I was smart enough to articulate it, so I was like, I'll let other people talk about it. I just did my spoiler-free thing, and I never got a chance to talk about what I thought about it. And at this point, I probably won't. I'll just say I loved it. After I watched that ending cutscene about 3 times, I played that boss fight twice, and I was like, all right, I've come around, and I'm like, okay, this ending is fantastic. From the music to the voice acting to the Where We Belong, I think I've listened to about 25 times every week since the game, since I finished the game, right? And that's not an exaggeration. I've listened to the entire soundtrack at least 3 times now, and to put it in perspective, it's about a 5-hour soundtrack, so don't know what that says about me. But yeah, this video was essentially made to say, vote for Xenoblade 3, you bastards, alright?